Welcome back to PWR Network. Ann Arbor, Michigan is the broadcast home of PWR Network, the world in your hands.
Hello and welcome to Carma's Cookery, the show that helps you unleash your kitchen creativity. Today, my guest is Dr. Keith Kantor. Dr. Kantor has been an advocate of natural food and healthy living for 27 years. In 1994, he was appointed CEO of Service Foods, Inc., the largest all-natural food company of its kind in the United States. He has several graduate degrees in nutritional science and naturopathic medicine, and his specialty is correlating nutritional food science with preventing and mitigating disease. He chaired the Natural Products Committee requested by Congress on product criteria and label specifications for all natural foods in the United States, and chaired the Blue Ribbon Panel request by Congress on lowering healthcare costs in the United States. Most recently, he has authored a children's book called The Green Box League of Nutritious Justice. I invited him today to share some easy, simple, and healthy meals that are ideal for children this summer. They can even make them themselves. Welcome to Carma's Cookery, Dr. Kantor.
Oh, thanks for having me on the show.
Awesome. Well, first, let's talk a little bit about your book. I love the title.
Oh, good. Wait, I'll grab it. There's the book. And it was so much fun to write and work on. What it is, it's a family resource, but we made it especially kid-friendly so the children will become engaged. And the way we did that is all the characters, as you could see on the book, are animated. So all the vegetables and fruits and proteins are all animated and have names. You know, Allie asparagus and Beauregard banana, and kids love that.
Right, yeah.
And what we did is, besides giving detailed descriptions on all the fruits and vegetables and proteins, we put fun snack facts on it that the kids could relate to. We even have comic books in there, and at the back of the comic book, there's coloring for the children and spelling. So we would spell out Beauregard, but they have to spell banana.
Cool.
So we wanted to engage the children to get them thinking about healthy living, because what all the statistics show is if you could teach the children early, hopefully even before they go to school, healthy living will become part of their life.
Yes.
And they'll live that way, for the rest of their life. And that's extremely important with the healthcare crisis that we have in the country. So we also have in there, besides the comic books and coloring and food descriptions, we have articles in there on all the major chronic diseases that relate to children, like diabetes type 2, even obesity, why water is so important, why salt and sugar could be dangerous. We have exercises in there that they could do together with the family, beginning, intermediate, and advanced. We have 75 recipes in the book that are, of course, healthy recipes, but a lot of which the kids could help with. And the idea is to get them engaged, bring them shopping with you. So when they go to the supermarket, they're running around naming, there's Orlando orange, there's, a Beauregard banana, there's Bianca broccoli. Now, the only negative part is they tend to name the parents and their siblings, and sometimes they don't like the names, but at least we have them thinking about healthy living, which is, I think, important. And what's also important is to get the parents to do the same thing and be part of the healthy living process. This is one of the few topics where you can't say, do what I say, not as I do.
Yeah, exactly.
And you can't be eating a cupcake and telling your child to eat an apple. It doesn't work that way.
Right. So what age group is the book aimed at?
Really, like I said, it's a family resource. When they're real young, the bright colors and the pictures will engage them, and the parents have to read it to them. When they're, in the 2 to 4 age. When they're a little older, say 4 to 6, they try to read it themselves and the parents help them. And then in the little older ages, they could actually read it by themselves in most cases, and the parents could just be watching them and helping them and having a conversation with them.
Oh, interesting. And it's so important. I mean, I totally agree that you catch them when they're young. I was talking about this with another guest on my show, is that before the age of 5, we had things like salami and ho-hos. And then my sister was born disabled, so my mom went completely health food. And all the ho-hos and salami went away. And it was like, it was a shock to my system. I missed them. And so I craved them, so that when I did have access to them, I often overate them.
That's what happens. If you get them used to it while they're young, children crave sweets.
Mm-hmm.
So if you start them off when they're young eating fruits,
exactly.
That's their sweet instead of a cupcake or a donut.
Right.
And it's all what they get used to.
Right.
And the biggest problem, before I go into any recipes, is what the children drink.
Mm.
And if you look at what kids drink in general, it's the little containers of juicy juice. Those contain 200 plus calories, or artificial sweeteners, which we know is not good for them. So
and often high fructose corn syrup. Yum.
That's right. So what you have to do is teach them to drink water. And the way you do that is to get a pitcher of water the night before, cut up some fruit, their favorite fruits, lemons, limes, oranges. Let them squeeze it and get their hands all messy, which the children love.
Right.
Dump the squeezed fruit right into the pitcher, let it soak overnight, and then that's where you give them their drinks from for the rest of the day. And if they're going to leave the house, you put it in some type of thermos or a bottle, or if they're real young, a sippy cup, the bigger ones.
Right.
And that's what they take all day. And you'd be amazed, you're talking about between 800 and 1,000 calories difference.
Exactly.
By them drinking water with a little fruit in it versus drinking juicy juice type drinks. And that's a vast difference.
And it's so important just for health in general. I mean, my parents must have done something right, because I pretty much only drink water. In fact, I remember when I was in high school, we did this experiment, and it was really aimed at the kids who drank a lot of soda. Right, exactly. And what we were supposed to do is, for 1 week, we were supposed to monitor everything we drank. And then the second week, we were supposed to give up something that we drank. And about halfway through my week, I realized I was only drinking water. And I knew I couldn't give up water, so I started drinking juice so I could give up the juice in the second half of the experiment. Because I mean, that really opened my eyes, because all my classmates, they were drinking lots of soda. Many of them experienced caffeine withdrawals when they gave up the soda for the second week. And I didn't have to experience any of that, because my parents instilled drink water.
And it's such an easy part, and people talk about, well, it's very expensive to eat healthy.
Not
that'll
necessarily.
save $4 or $5 a day.
Yeah.
That makes up for any extra expense with, getting the all-natural or organic foods.
Right.
So real quick, and like I said, it saves 1,000 calories a day. That's a huge difference. And we have an obesity epidemic, especially amongst our children.
Yes. Especially in this country. I mean,
yeah,
because
it's the Western diet.
Yeah, and it's yeah. I could go on about that one.
Hi, Lillian Caldwell here. I'm PWRTalk.com's founder and president. Do you work for free? We have. For 10 years, we worked for millions of listeners for free. Starting June, no more free shows. With over 10 million listeners now, we invite our loyal listeners to take advantage of a one-time membership offer. $20. One time. That's all it takes to enjoy access to our quality shows. Starting July 1st, this one-time lifetime membership option ends. Click on the Get Registered link at the top of every page at pwrtalk.com today to enjoy this special offer. Thank you for your continued support. We look forward to hearing from you.
So what are some healthy snacks that kids can make during the summer?
Okay, I have a few. I hope you don't mind me looking at it.
Go ahead.
But one is mandarin, orange, and spinach salad.
That sounds good.
It's good. The prep time only takes 10 minutes, and all you need is 3 cups of peeled and sliced mandarin oranges, a bunch of mint leaves, approximately 10 leaves, large leaves, 5 cups of fresh baby spinach, 1 large chopped cucumber peeled, 1 chopped red pepper, 1 chopped fennel bulb, and 2 tablespoons of extra virgin olive oil. You combine all the ingredients in a large salad bowl and serve. And the juice from the grapefruit acts as dressing, so you don't even need any extra dressing with it. So it's meaning the juice from the mandarin oranges.
Right.
So they don't even need any dressing on it, and they love it.
And you're talking about fresh mandarin orange, not the stuff you get in the can.
That's correct.
Yeah, because a lot of that canned stuff is packed in syrup.
That's right, and high fructose corn syrup, that's how they slip it in there.
Right. In fact, I mean, occasionally you can find it canned in water or juice, but it's very hard to find.
You could go to the proper store, the good stores, and they sometimes have it where it's canned in water. But even that, you have to look real close because it's canned in water, but they still have some
Exactly.
things like high fructose corn syrup in it.
Exactly. So I take it you've got some more there.
Yes. Guacamole. Again, the prep time is only 10 minutes, no cooking, and all you need is 3 ripe avocados, 1/4 cup of chopped red onions, 1 bunch of chopped fresh cilantro, 1 chopped jalapeno, and you could keep the seeds in if they like it hot, juice from 1 lime, and a dash of high quality salt, just a little bit. Again, combine all the ingredients with a spool for the chunky texture or a food processor if you wanted a smoother texture, and serve with vegetables like carrots or cucumbers.
Yum. I love guacamole. I absolutely
And the
love
kids
guacamole.
love it. It's very healthy. It has all the healthy fats in it that you need. Another easy one that the kids love is a berry spinach smoothie. The prep time takes 5 minutes. Take 1 to 2 cups of almond or coconut milk, 1 cup of frozen or fresh berries. We used an organic frozen berry medley, when I did it on a show before, that had blueberries and blackberries and raspberries in it. Take 1 large handful of fresh or frozen spinach, 1 tablespoon of ground flaxseed, and 4 ounces of plain yogurt.
Yum.
Just combine all the ingredients. You could add ice if needed, and blend it on high and serve, and the kids just love it.
And it's a green smoothie, so it's got the greens in it.
Yeah, it has the greens in it, but you can't taste the greens.
Right, exactly.
Another good one, especially for the summer, is a banana dairy-free ice cream, which again takes only 5 minutes to make. And all you do is take 6 frozen bananas, 1 cup of unsweetened almond or coconut milk, and you add a little more if you wanted a smoother, and 1/2 cup of walnuts. Blend all the ingredients together in a blender and serve immediately, or store it in the freezer to make it thicken up. And the kids just love it.
That sounds delicious. So why do you think it's so important to get kids helping out in the kitchen?
It's like with anything else. If you get them engaged, they take ownership of it.
Yes.
Now it's theirs. You don't get the I don't like it because they help make it. That's why it's important not just to let them get involved in it, but it's important, if possible, to let them come to the supermarket with you.
Right.
And ask little things. Which orange do you think looks better? And like I said before, they name the oranges because they have all the names from the book, and they name all the different fruits and vegetables and even the proteins. And it gets them engaged. It's the same thing when you make lunch. I think it's very important to make lunch for kids when they're going to school, because if you leave it up to them buying lunch at school, even though now they have some more choices that are healthy, the kids always pick the French fries,
Yeah.
and the greasy stuff. So if you make lunch for them, it's obviously healthier, but if they're not going to eat it, it doesn't help you. So if you get them engaged and they help make the lunch and they help pick it out, now it's theirs. They
Right.
made this, they pick this. So it's like with the whole realm of healthy living, if they're engaged and they're part of it, then they want to do it.
Right. And it's interesting because I know a lot of kids are finicky. I mean, I know when I was a kid, my parents tell me that I went through this phase where I would only eat food if it was white. So that's why my mom invented two of my favorite dishes. One is spinach with rice. It was white because it had rice, but it has the spinach in it. And the other was mashed carrots and potatoes. Oh, it's so good. It's like the carrots make the potatoes sweeter or something. They're delicious.
But it hid the color of the
It,
carrots from the
yeah,
mashed potatoes.
right. It was the only way they could get me to eat. And I mean, I don't remember this, but that was the story. And it's interesting that those creative things that my mom did to get me to eat something other than white food became my favorite childhood foods. I
See,
mean,
the problem now is, first of all, at least when I was a child, my mom just worked a small amount and my father worked full time. And so that she spent more time with us
right.
because that's what, mothers did back in those days. Now, unfortunately, to make ends meet, you have almost both parents working.
Hmm.
So when they make dinner, lots of times they'll get some form or fashion of a TV dinner.
Yeah.
And it's almost impossible to get a healthy, totally prepared meal that you're just pulling out. And if you look at what kids eat today, it's almost always chicken fingers of some
Yeah.
type. And even though they do have some, and we have some healthy chicken fingers where it uses rice for breading and it's baked instead of fried,
Hmm.
so it's much better. It's still chicken fingers.
Yeah. Yeah.
So you make the best with what you have, but it's important to give the healthy foods to the children and let them understand why it's so important and even reward them for it. One of the
Exactly.
things that I do in the book and I do when I speak is I'm one of the lead advocates for Pala Plus. I don't know if you ever heard of it,
Mm-mm.
but it's, as you know, they did away with gym classes in pretty much all the schools.
I did not know that.
Yeah,
Lucky bastards.
yeah. But so now we have the kids eating unhealthy food, not playing when they go home outside and running around like we did. Now they play with video games and Facebook and
Exactly.
everything else, and they don't have the gym classes that we had every day where you burned up the calories.
Right.
So now they changed the presidential challenge to something called Pala Plus, which is the Presidential Active Lifestyle Award, and the plus is nutrition. And what you do over an 8-week period is they have to do so much physical activity per day or steps per day. It's about 10 to 12,000 steps per day. And every week they have to do a different healthy thing based on nutrition, like make sure half your plate is fruits and vegetables.
Right.
Drink water instead of some type of juice or soda. Eat fish once a week. Things that have smaller portions, and you have a different thing each week, and then at the end of the 8 weeks, all the paperwork's filled out, and they send it in, and I send them this presidential award that's already pre-signed by a famous football player and a famous gymnast, and the kids love it.
Yeah.
But the idea is they're rewarded for being healthy,
Exactly.
and it gets them used to it.
Right.
And that's not what we do in America. If you look at a parent when a kid's good, they give them a cupcake
Or a
or a
cookie.
donut
Yeah.
or a lollipop or something like that. And what we should be doing from the time they're young is giving them an apple or a strawberry or a cup of watermelon or cantaloupe
Or
or
not food
honeydew.
at all. I mean, I had a pediatrician, he used to give me balloons.
Yeah.
I mean, because when you start making food a part of the reward system, then even if it's healthy food, it's still sending a bad message.
Well, if they abuse it and you could eat too much of anything because it
Exactly.
still comes down to calories. But the concept is that if they're being rewarded now with some type of sweet, make it a fruit
Right. Yeah.
versus the thing. But I like the idea better of a small toy or
A hug.
a balloon.
Right. Right. So we're running out of time. If someone wanted to learn more about your book or more about you, how would they find out about you?
They could just go to my website, which is Dr. Keith, KeithKantor.com. And that's my website. On the website, they could get the book. They could also get like free things for coloring. It also has all the articles on under resources on pretty much all the major chronic diseases and how you could help it with nutrition. It has a free health assessment that they could take where only they get the results. And then it has all my interviews and TV shows and things like this.
Awesome.
Will be on it so they could go through it. And it has a lot of information and it's all free.
Very good. Well, thank you so much for being a guest on Karma's Cookery today.
Great. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you for listening to PWR Network. I'm Lillian Caldwell, the founder of PWR Network. I personally thank you for your support. To enjoy the benefits being heard by our listeners, call me at 734-827-9406 to explore how to become a PWR Network host or sponsor. Once again, I'm Lillian Caldwell, the founder of PWR Network. Thank you for listening to this program. We look forward to hearing from you.